The topics we discuss are many.
No story too bold to talk about.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the NAKE'd Podcast. Hey guys, where do planets download their music?
Where?
Neptunes. It's Norma.
Ooh.
This episode's going to go from 0 to E equals MC squared real quick. It's your DM tech guy, Alan.
Get out of here with that dark energy. It's space time.
Hey.
It's Ethan.
Oh, yeah, it is Ethan. It's Ethan.
Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up. Hey, it's Kielyn.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Wait, is it a planet again, or is it not a planet again?
It's been a planet.
It's been a planet
Yeah,
again?
Yeah.
It's a dwarf
They brought
planet
it back.
now. It's
Yeah.
not.
It's a dwarf planet?
It's not a real planet. It's a dwarf planet.
You know the saddest part is, it never made one complete rotation as a planet.
Yeah.
Aww.
Because it's like 260 years, I think, for a rotation or something like that. It's
You-
over 200 years.
They actually found another planet in the solar system called Iris or Iris. It's Eris. And it's just like Pluto, but it's bigger.
A bigger Pluto?
Mm-hmm.
Was that from the Voyager space probe?
Oh, probably. It was discovered in 2005, so that was like quite a while ago. I don't remember how it was found, but yeah, we technically have a 10th planet in the solar system.
Well, I remember growing up and you always heard of the Planet X theory, or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's Planet X?
just the planet that was the 10th planet.
Oh, okay. To make it a nice, even number.
Right.
So is Planet X like Pluto's big brother and he came round because we stopped calling Pluto a planet?
You want to see a planet? I'll bring my big brother.
Yo, what's up, bro? These people bothering you?
Honestly, seeing pictures of it, that's exactly what it would sound like.
What's up, bro? You got a problem? I'm dead.
Space in general, though, is like so spooky, but so fascinating at the same time. And I feel like we've all been learning a lot more about it recently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for sure, I know I made it clear that I want to be on the first ship to Mars. It's like, what else is there to explore or do here on Earth? Like, let's try do something new. If you die in the process,
We're
at
gonna
least
be
you died having
colonists.
fun.
I'll go with you. I mean, I want to go to Mars. I want to go to space. Norma wants to keep me grounded to the ground, though, so I don't know.
Yeah. If I had to leave Earth, like it was like Earth is a wasteland, we have to get to the pods and escape, of course. But like I would like to learn about space on the ground.
But what better way to learn about something than immersed in it?
That is true. I am very hands-on, but I've learned some scary shit about space lately.
I mean, yeah.
A lot of people, space is so vast, it's so big that we can't be the only ones, right?
Of course not.
But what about the parallel
Why can't
universes?
God fuck with aliens?
We go hard on Earth.
We're not just another conquest.
But no, seriously, I think that is actually the multiverse theory. I know it sounds a lot of sci-fi because there's like comic books do multiverse and this story do multiverse, but we have found some evidence that there might be a multiverse or a mirror universe in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the thing about, well, if there's one, if one was made and for some weird reason it is like a bubble, because we have mapped more or less the whole shape of it. So what, like, there can't be another bubble?
All the bubbles, all the universes.
So if you think about how some people think wormholes, or well, black holes are wormholes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, could that take you to another parallel universe? Or what actually maybe our concept of a universe is not what is different than what we believe.
Yeah, I get you.
Maybe the structure of a universe is different than what our concept is, and maybe a universe is just smaller. Like there's a more galactic version of a universe. You know, because you have a solar system, then a galaxy, then a universe. Well, what's beyond that?
I mean, if you just felt super small, you are not alone.
I mean, it could be like that one episode of Futurama where Professor Farnsworth creates an alternate universe in a box. Like, it could be just like that, or
A microverse?
yeah, a microverse.
I was gonna say it sounds like slavery with extra steps.
hey, there was no
It's
slavery in
how-
that episode.
It's how Alan cools his PC.
We don't talk about the processing power of my PC. Okay.
I think
Or like in Men in Black when the galaxy on the necklace.
oh, yeah.
Orion's belt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The answer's in Orion's belt. That's a great movie.
But the data we've recently gotten, there's an expedition to Antarctica, and they found traces of antimatter that came from a parallel universe that is actually running backwards in time.
How did they discern that from the antimatter?
Dude.
You're like, well, I'm gonna go for the most scientific question possible.
I'm sorry. I'm curious. I want to know exactly how they were able to discern that this alternate universe is going backwards. Like, that is absolutely fascinating.
So, for people who aren't aware of my theories of the universe, I've been thinking that time flows like a sine wave,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be totally possible if you think about it. Sine waves have up, and they have highs and lows. So what's to say you can't have a parallel universe on the downs and we can be on the ups?
Ethan.
Or
Mm-hmm.
what?
I was gonna say, let me further foolproof your hypothesis here.
Yeah, let me hear.
Think of every distinct shape in our universe. It's a circle. So
Yeah, or a spiral.
a spiral. So even then, like, the universe and all the other universes that exist could be spherical in nature. So, like, time is not linear. Time is linear to us, but not on the fourth dimension.
oh, yeah, like the sequence?
And Interstellar. And
Yeah.
Interstellar too. And
Yeah.
the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, Fibonacci
Yeah.
sequence. Because it's what we base our entire mathematics off of. It's like the most perfect design that's in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. So like your sign theory, what if time is similar?
Mm-hmm.
So, for people who aren't crazy conspiracy theorists,
Tinfoil hat time, guys.
Hashtag tinfoil hat.
I've actually looked at like the stuff I sent y'all about the 1820 election.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Red Party at the time, which they were Democratic Republicans, a little different than we have nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
but they completely swept except for one state. So the other party got one electoral vote. So if all goes crazy this 2020 and Trump wins and like only one state, so if only Delaware goes for Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be like, yep, my theory is confirmed. No questions about it.
But, I mean, it can... I don't think you'll be able to confirm or deny your theory, especially after this election, because, I mean, willpower is a thing.
Yeah. That's why that's why I'm saying, so a wave has contractions, expansions.
Mm-hmm.
It has dips, lows, it forms. So not everything would be perfect on the nose, you know what I mean? But big events would be coinciding on a timeline.
So, like, kind of hitting the same frequency as it did, like, say, 100 years ago.
Exactly.
I got you.
Exactly. That's why you have like the 2020 pandemic, you have the 1920, the 1820, and then you roll back, you have the wars. If you always look, when was the Civil War fought? When was World War One, World War Two, the War of 1812? How many of those dates all flow and kind of line up in a way?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Could you use that to map the frequency of our universe, just other universes have different frequencies, you know, like we've talked about before we wanted to write a kind of a short story or a little act out play with a different universe, but they're based on I'm trying to think of the three most basic elements that are in everything. Helium, hydrogen, and what was the third one?
Oxygen.
Carbon.
Carbon. Yeah.
Was it carbon?
I think it is carbon.
But so like helium is positively charged, hydrogen is neutrally charged, I believe. And then our universe is like more hydrogen than helium based. Or the other one's more helium based, so they are more positive.
Or what if in this alternate universe, it's sort of like the TV show Fringe. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not.
No, I haven't.
It's a great show. I definitely recommend it. I haven't seen anything past the 3rd season, so I can't really tell you how it ends. But it's this one scientist in one universe who lost the sun, so he goes into another universe and steals that sun, but leaves this portal open, and slowly the universes start to merge together. And in this alternate universe, different events occurred. So like 9/11 didn't happen. The helium plane, what's it called?
Hindenburg
didn't fall. So I mean, what if this alternate universe has different coinciding events that, you know, caused it to severely change like ours did, but not quite the same. So like maybe 9/11 didn't happen for them, or something else happened that didn't happen to us.
Like a different butterfly effect.
Yes, that's what I was going for, the butterfly effect. Going
back to Kielyn's theory, though, like a parallel universe going backwards. So like the decline of civilization, right? Like think about just our worlds, right? Like instead of a large scale, like a universe or a galaxy or whatever, think about just our worlds. So at what time do we cross? Like we have the same events going on, and what
do you think it happened with the whole, when people believe that like the clashes of the universe, that's why like you have Shazam versus Kazam. Do you think we already crossed that threshold?
Mandela effect?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because like what you're saying sounds perfectly logical to me in a way. If you think about it, say you live in a society that becomes so advanced that you solve the answers to the universe, right? You figure out the universe's frequency and you can tune it to and play it like a fiddle, right? Well, in doing that, you create that alternate universe like we're talking about, the parallel, but now you're starting at that point and going down, right? And since we don't see, time would be different than we can conceive it. In essence, this part could have already happened, and that universe, the parallel one's on its way down, and we're on our way up to that point. And that's where we cross, and we cross that certain point already.
And who's even to say that alternate, this parallel universe is even our parallel? It could be a parallel universe to a different Earth. It couldn't necessarily be ours, so it could or couldn't be our possible future.
That's a good point. I feel like it's incredibly narcissistic to think that like we have different versions of ourselves in different universes, even though like it kind of feels that way. But like if something were to happen, like say, I think Alan had mentioned 9/11. Like if in a parallel universe that never happened, then what chain events, what butterfly effect did that create to not have certain people be born or, you know, come into positions of power, etc. Like have a cause.
Yeah, like thinking about it right now, what is the shape of an infinity sign?
It's fair.
It has a cross point.
That's a good point.
So who's to say we can't be on that, like that shape, you know what I mean?
And every time we cross a bit, something changes.
Yeah.
And
like the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We solved it, guys. Give us some space degrees. No science.
I'll be waiting on my Pulitzer Prize. Thank you.
And who's to say that that the infinity sign is even flat to begin with. It could be like a
multi-dimensional.
a Morpheus strip, Mobius strip.
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly. Yeah.
What's a Mobius strip?
A Mobius strip is one singular line made into a circle, but at some point it twists. So you
Yeah,
actually
so
run on
you
both
can go
sides.
360 degrees
Mm-hmm.
while going one direction the entire time.
I actually sent a picture of it on our D&D group. It was
I
a
remember.
D1. That was a Mobius strip.
I remember.
Futurama, they do a race on one.
Oh my god.
They drag race on one.
That was actually a really cool episode. It was last season. Peak Futurama.
No,
That
the
was
last
peak
season was the
Comedy
worst.
Central's Futurama.
I love
Hey, I gotta say, I enjoyed the ending of Futurama though.
It was
where
beautifully
Fry
done.
and Leela like walk off into the sunset and get to live again. I thought it was awesome.
That was a beautiful episode. Beautiful.
Like they got to live their lives twice.
Yeah, it was really nice. A show's coming out pretty soon that we watch. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The Umbrella Academy.
Yes, I love that show.
Yes.
So
Fuck
yeah.
We've seen it twice already. The first season.
So it's really interesting, right? The whole concept of like these people who code to this universe to make certain events happen. And I mean, if you want to go a step further in hashtag tinfoil hat time, are there people who are advanced enough to control something like that?
So that right now with everything about the Space Force, right? Like you're saying, and all of a sudden we have the Space Force, and now all this crap's rolling out about unidentified objects and unidentified planes, and
The millions of UFO documents that have been released.
yeah, and
About
the U.S. government actually confirming things that yeah.
2020 is already crazy. You guys can handle aliens.
Yeah, remember that
But-
plane crash back in the 40s over by Roswell? That really happened.
It only took us threatening to storm Area 51 for it to happen.
Yeah.
I think we should take a very educational naked pod trip to Area 51, but like the touristy area, and then I mean, obviously not want to storm a government facility.
You heard it here first, guys. Don't storm Area 51.
We're going to
Wink.
storm Area 51 naked in honor of the Naked podcast.
They should just do a music festival out there every September 20th.
That's what
Pretty
that's what
badass.
that Area 51 turned into, right? The Storm Area 51.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of cute.
I'd go.
I literally have I have earrings with aliens on them that say "I want to believe." I wore them the other day, and my manager, we video chatted, and she's like, "Are you wearing aliens on your earrings?" I was like, "Yeah." I love aliens.
No, I'm moving forward as a civilization. I'm excited that we're getting into the space kind of like exploration phase of humanity, and if we can be part of the generation that starts that, like, I don't know, that would give my life meaning.
I don't know. I'm so surprised we haven't advanced further. Just because we finally got to the moon in the 60s, and then look at how the rest of our technology advanced in the 30 years after that, and how far we got. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
what is this? 20, 30, 50 years later, we don't even have like a colony somewhere. We haven't been able to send a person far out.
Well, we can, but at the time, we didn't know what would happen to them. I mean, we all went to that NASA field trip, the Naked Pod NASA field trip. Like, when the astronauts got back, when Neil Armstrong and everyone else got back, they put them into quarantine because they didn't know what bacteria would be on them. And this was like,
But
So
now we know.
How familiar are you with the whole moon landing, the whole timeline?
Walk us through.
Walk us through.
So I'm not 100% sure on the timeline. It's been a long time, but there is a dead part of when they were on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I know they used some of it for the plot of, like, Transformers. That while they were in the dark zone, that's when they went and did their alien hunting. But what if that's fucking true? Like, what if it's true that they ran into something or saw something in that time period. And that's why we never went back. And now we're just getting to the part where they think a society like us can handle it. So now we're getting introduced to it and we're going back out.
That's a good point.
Moon's
That's
haunted.
an interesting theory.
Moon's haunted.
I'm just
Thank
pretty...
you very much.
I don't know. It's just like now that they're releasing things, it just makes me feel that they knew something was out there. That's why they delayed it as long as possible.
What if they're
Think
just
no.
trying to protect us? I mean,
Well, I mean,
I'm a grown adult.
look at the
I hate that,
pandemic.
But the mass public is not.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
look at the pandemic. I mean, as soon as it started flowing, people bought out like they're going through a hurricane.
or the idiots over in Wisconsin who opened up the entire state and threw a goddamn party in one day.
You won't let that go.
I'm not letting that go.
I would have
in
went to the
Wisconsin.
party.
I'm not letting that go.
But like, I think most people it would cause like mass hysteria. But you're right. Like we're at the point now where we want to know the truth, and we're I wouldn't say desensitized, but we're more apt to want knowledge and to pursue knowledge. Like we're the generation that has access to technology to gain knowledge.
We have the technology. We want to use it.
We're tired of the monsters we made up. We need new ones.
Yeah. And to think about it, you know, just living on a planet where, you know, at the push of a button, we're all dead is just, I don't know, unsettling. Just to be out. I would rather be out and know that anything can happen at any moment, but I'm seeing things that have never been seen before.
You know, what'd be really cool is like, you know, on Earth we have gold, right? Gold is a very valuable trading commodity. And what would that be on other planets? Like in the movie Avatar, they had their special ore that they were trying to get to. So like, what would be that commodity on these other planets?
I mean, oxygen's going to be one of them.
Obviously,
you need to
yes.
breathe.
Yeah, for humanity, I think that's what they're going to go after first is they're going to go probably hydrogen and oxygen. Because we can make our fuel out of that. We can breathe. We can live off that.
Water.
So, yeah.
Like that show, The Expanse, that we watched a couple episodes after Marco was like, please watch it. I have nobody to talk to about it. But like I never thought about it of like the effects that space would have on you and not having gravity to keep yourself together. These people have elongated limbs. They have elongated bodies. Like they have malnourishment issues. So, you know, it just makes sense for that to happen. So what was to happen? What would humans look like in 100 years development of being in space?
Yeah.
Wally.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Expanse is pretty spot on with, I think, how they've kind of designed their future humans. Because isn't there like 10% of them that could never go back to Earth because they never be able to handle it?
Can't. If you're born in the belt, you can't ever step foot on Earth.
Your body can't handle,
Can you go to
handle the
other
gravity.
planets?
Yeah, you can't handle the gravity. So you can't handle gravity. Their bodies or the belters have mutated and adapted to living in space. So them going to Earth or Mars, they automatically, the pressure just starts crushing them because they have like bird bones and stuff. They're hollow, they're brittle.
Yeah, because
Your body just, adapts.
yeah,
Makes sense.
that's a problem that NASA has is whenever an astronaut comes back, their bone density drops by like 5-10%, like something dramatic.
Well, that's like Scott Kelly. His DNA adjusted enough while he was 1 year in space that him and his identical brother are no longer considered identical brothers
Damn.
because their DNA is so different now. Mm-hmm. I think it was like 2 or 3% of his DNA changed.
Holy crap.
That's crazy.
That's scary. So would we need to figure out like gravitational technology before we go out and explore the unknown?
Oh yeah, we would have to have like you said, we would have to understand and how to tune and play the frequency of gravity to get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
if you have an object that you can make a shit ton of gravity a focal point right behind it, that would be the fastest thing in the universe.
Wow. It's an interesting using the idea of gravity to propel.
Yeah. So that's the idea behind dark energy and dark matter manipulation and propulsion systems.
Wasn't that also the idea behind Professor Farnsworth, like, spectacular spaceship? He, like, came up with it in a dream where it was the center of the universe and the ship moved.
Yeah, his ship was
around.
supposed to be fifth dimensional.
Yeah.
Fourth.
No, fifth.
His was, yeah.
Yeah. Fourth is time. Fifth is where you can travel through space.
Huh.
Okay, because I remember him doing the fourth dimensional shift.
Yeah, that's when he would shift into a different plane and then come back out.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Space is scary, but it's interesting. It's definitely worth exploring. And you're right. Like, I hope that we're the generation that gets to see it get started off. Because, I mean, even at NASA, they said that the people who will be on Mars are between the ages of 7 to 17 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely see it in our lifetime. Hopefully. Barring any apocalyptic shit going down.
Knock on wood.
Another 15, 20 years, yeah.
I don't know. I'll be really glad when Elon Musk opens the new Tesla factory in Austin. And then that just gives their company more money to pour into SpaceX. And then we got a red starship flying.
Fuck yeah. I want to
Throw
build
a little
myself.
hot rod red into that.
Texas will succeed and go into space. Just kidding.
Texas will colonize Mars.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, if Elon Musk doesn't fly a Texas flag over Mars, we're going to throw hands, okay?
He's about to catch these hands. As long as I can have a Millennium Falcon, we're good. I will build my own Millennium Falcon. I don't care.
That's a lot of Legos.
And I'm
So,
okay with
hold
that. I'll super
Hold
glue
on.
them all together.
We got to be super nerdy. Can you look up what the Armenian freighter? I think that's the design that is the name of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Millennium Falcon is the name of Han's ship, but the design of the ship.
The Karelian YT.
Karelia, there you go. Karelian freighter.
These are going to be standard issue. We have our deluxe packages. That comes with escape pods.
YT 1300 light freighter. That's what I want my first spaceship to be.
A what?
Well, YT 1300. The Karelian space freighter.
Nerd.
Yeah.
And what of it? Just kidding.
Got a problem with that?
How fast can you do a parsec?
I mean, I can do the Kessler run in 12 parsecs. And yes,
yeah.
parsec
And
is a
only
measurement of distance, not time.
Yes, because we all know that Han flew the shortest distance through the supernova, gas nova, whatever it was.
Which is actually really scary. It was basically a magnetar, which is like a high radiation black hole. So I'm surprised they even survived that. Just saying.
That's a good point.
I mean, it was mainly K2, so it was a woman that did it, and Han just took credit for it.
Yeah.
Naturally, the patriarchy at its finest.
Some say her brain is still attached to the ship.
I hope so.
Yeah, I agree.
If they don't one day just say, hey, there's a really weird message coming through, and it just like comes out of a random speaker. After all these years, I finally figured out how to work the intercom system. And it's fucking K2 yelling at people.
I would watch
That's like
that.
an episode of The Mandalorian I would watch.
Fuck yeah.
We're so close to getting back to the Mandalorian. I'm very
Oh.
excited about that.
I want to have my own Star
Yeah.
Wars adventure in space.
And on that note,
Well, that wraps up another great episode. Thanks for joining us. Find our memes and other great content on Twitter and Instagram at OG_the NAKE'd pod.
run over to our website, officialmillennials.com, and you'll find our wonderful blog, some notes here and there from others, and a link to our Patreon, where for $1 you become a patron.
What do we get out of the $1 patron?
All of Alan's love and respect.
I'm okay with that.
And
As
a
long as
handwritten note.
No handwritten note. My handwriting's shitty. While you're on the internet, definitely hop over to our Twitch and Mixer channels. On Twitch, we're Official Millennials. On Mixer, we're Official Mills. We will be trying to do some streaming this summer, so definitely check that out. Maybe we'll have a live show, and I will be doing streaming Mondays and Thursdays over at Mixer and Twitch. My handle is PeachZ90.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can find all of our episodes with a little extra fun mixed in. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, we love you.
This is an Official Millennials production.